Hi everyone, my name is Nyika Allen and I'm the Director of Aviation for the City of Albuquerque. That means I get to run our beautiful Albuquerque International Sunport. Today we're going to read a book together. I brought First Heroes of Flight. Let's jump right in. This book was written by Thea Feldman and illustrated by Amelia Tereshkova. Can you imagine living in a world without airplanes or rockets that go into space? A long time ago, people used things with wheels like carts or things that go on water like boats to get around. Airplanes and spaceships had not been invented yet. Sometimes brave, smart women and men would watch the birds in the sky and wonder if one day people would fly too. Let's meet some of these heroes of flight. A long time ago, more than 200 years ago, two brothers who lived in the country of France made the first thing that carried people into the sky. What do you think they made? The Montgolfier brothers invented the hot air balloon. Invented means that they were the first people to make a hot air balloon. The brothers sent two hot air balloons into the sky as tests. The first one had no passengers. The second hot air balloon carried a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. People were very excited to be able to fly, but a hot air balloon only goes wherever the wind blows. People wanted to be able to choose where to go. A German engineer named Otto Lilienthal invented a glider that a person could steer while flying. A glider does not have an engine, but instead uses air currents to fly. Between 1891 and 1896, Otto built and flew 16 different gliders. Each glider had a wooden frame covered in cotton. When he shifted his body weight either front to back or from side to side, Otto could control where the glider flew. Otto became known as the Flying Man. Otto made close to 2,000 flights in his gliders. All of the flights were very short. The longest one lasted about 15 seconds, during which he traveled almost 1,000 feet. Wilbur and Orville Wright were two brothers who owned a bicycle shop in Dayton, Ohio. They started building gliders like Otto Lilienthal. They experimented with different ideas to make the gliders faster and stronger. After trying out lots of ideas that didn't quite work, Wilbur and Orville built the world's first successful airplane. They called it the Wright Flyer. On December 17, 1903, the Wright Flyer made 4 very short flights on the beach in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. The longest was 59 seconds, and the airplane flew 852 feet. Woo! Kitty Hawk was a good place to test the Wright Flyer. The Wright brothers needed a lot of wind and space, and the beach at Kitty Hawk had both. In 1969, the crew of Apollo 11 took a sample of wood and fabric from the Wright Flyer with them to the moon. This bicycle was made at the Wright brothers' bicycle shop. The Wright Flyer had wings, but also an engine and propellers. An engine is a machine that converts energy into motion. In other words, engines make things go. Propellers spin to help an airplane move forward. People worked to make airplanes that could fly faster and farther. By the 1920s, some airplanes could fly for thousands of miles. Airplanes traveled from the United States across the Atlantic Ocean to Europe. But in May of 1927, Charles Lindbergh became the first person to fly across the Atlantic Ocean by himself without stopping. During these early years, women did not have the same opportunities as men did, including when it came to flight. But there were some first female heroes of flight. Let's meet just a few. Here we have Amelia Earhart. In May of 1932, Amelia Earhart became the second person and first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean by herself without stopping. She flew from Canada to Ireland, and she finished the trip twice as fast as Charles Lindbergh. On her flight across the Atlantic Ocean, the fuel tank on Amelia's plane had a leak. There was ice on her wings, and flames shot out of part of her engine. Those sound like scary problems, but Amelia kept going and made it. Let's meet a few more. Here we have Bessie Coleman. In 1921, Bessie Coleman became the first African American person to get an international pilot's license. That meant she could fly anywhere in the world. Amelia Howell Warner, in 1976, Emily became the first woman to be captain for an airline in the United States. Emily Howell Warner. And here we have Peggy Whitson. Peggy Whitson, in 2007, she was a U.S. astronaut and became the first woman commander of the International Space Station. And last but not least, we have Valentina Tereshkova. In 1963, Valentina, an astronaut from the Soviet Union, became the first woman to fly in space. That's all our book, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me for the first Heroes of Flight. See you later!